Hey everybody, welcome back to Coach G World. I'm glad you're here. We're going to look at the curves adjustment layer today in Photoshop and how we can use it to affect our images. It's similar to levels, but it's going to give you more power to control the shadows, highlights, and midtones separately. So what I want you to do first is notice on screen here we have our image. We have a model in front of some barrels or bins, whatever. We have a background. And above this layer 1 is where I want to place a curves layer. This curves adjustment layer can be made by clicking this little button down here. This will allow me to create a new fill or adjustment layer. I'm going to select which one I want from here. The option I'm looking for is curves. Once I click on curves on screen, you're going to see here, let me pull this out of that little dock so you can see it right next to the image as we apply effects. What you see in this square is called a histogram. The histogram has points from the darker portions to the lighter portions represented here. And what I want to do is adjust this line to get the effect I'm looking for. So this photo looks pretty good naturally. It's lit well. So the adjustments would be minor in my preference for this edit, but if I just click on this, you can see there's a little dot, a little button or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's a little small square. You can pull it down, and when I pull it down, it's going to be affecting the darker portion because I'm pulling it down towards the darker portion. If I'm pulling it up, it's bringing more of a washed out look, more highlights, if you will, are being displayed here. And you can see it can get a little outrageous with the options. So that's just me pulling one point. So I moved it up here. If I click another portion, another part of this line, another dot can form, and that will allow me to adjust even more dynamically with two, essentially creating an S curve. In my opinion, I think that's pretty close to what I would want for this particular edit. As a matter of fact, I think that's perfect right there. If you look up here up top, we applied everything to the red, green, and blue channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you, if I wanted to just target the red channel, I have that option. So I can again click a point, and if I bring it down, you're gonna see it's, instead of revealing more white, it's kind of turning things more a greenish tint. If I bring it up, it's bringing the reds out. We're only affecting the red channel. If I went to the green channel, same thing. If I brought it down, it's more violet, purplish. If I brought it up, it's that green because we're in the green channel. So if I went to blue, bring it down, it's yellow, up, blue. So we are going to just go back to the, you can see when I went back to my main channel, all those edits for the respective colors were on screen. Even though they're minor, you can see them on the histogram. So if I just wanted to get rid of them, I could click that. I went back into the red channel, I clicked that dot and just press delete on my keyboard. I go to the green channel, click this little dot, delete. Blue, click the dot, delete, and I'm back to my original edit with that S-curve. So what I want to show you next is the presets that are available for you. You have a lot that are usable, and you have some that are very unique. So I'll show you the usable ones in my opinion. If I want to increase contrast right there, that looks great, and that's pre-built for you. If I wanted to have the photo lighter, there goes your option. It's much lighter, of course. Then I have the color negative, and you can see right here, that is, depending on what you're going for, that's pretty extreme. Cross process, a more stylized, almost like an Instagram filter effect. And you can see using the different channels how this image was created. And we're just gonna go back to default. Now the image is reset. So with it reset back to default, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep the increased contrast option on for us. So the white mask is showing the curves because if I paint over this mask with black, it is going to hide portions of the mask. So I'm painting over the model's body right now, and if I hide the layer, you can see the image underneath it is the original image we were working with. Now I painted over her with the black paintbrush, and if I went back and painted over her with white, I'll get my effect back. Okay, so that really applies to, you know, if you're doing some sort of selective curves adjustments on here on the model that you needed for whatever reason, or the background, whatever the case is. If you didn't want that curve, let's say that for some reason you wanted this white barrel washed out, or not washed out, but not with the curve adjustment, I'm gonna go back here, get my paintbrush, you know, select B on my keyboard for the shortcut, set my foreground color to black, you know, get an appropriate paintbrush size, and you can, very subtle, but you see it there, takes away the curve. So that little black dot right there is what we just painted. But again, I'll press Control Z to undo that because I do not want to pinpoint any little portion on here. I just want to keep my curve edit that we made to this photo as is. So again, that's the curves adjustment layer, real quick and easy to use. If I want to, you know, show you the histogram again, there it is. I'm gonna delete that, and let's do this real quick. So again, that's our original photo. We're gonna click down here first. We're gonna go to curves. There's our curves pulled up, our options. I'm gonna go to the preset that we selected, increase contrast. There it is, very easy. So let's delete that one more time, bring it back up, and curves. Now I want to bring on some points, and I'm going to try to mimic that increased contrast effect that we pulled from a preset. I'm adding points. Yeah, that kind of looks like it. There we go. Okay, so I just made that custom. So that's it for this tutorial on curves in Photoshop. I hope you found it useful. If you did, leave a like, comment. Hopefully you've already subscribed, but I appreciate it. As always, I will see you next time. Hope you learned something. Peace.